My name is Trevor Steele and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to talk about the Parajet MavMax. This is a new paramotor that I got a couple weeks ago. I've had the privilege of putting about 4 hours of flight time on it now, and I've got a few things to say about my first impressions. First, I want to do a bit of a walk around and talk about a few of the differences between this Parajet MavMax and the standard Parajet. So let's point out a few things that are different. Right off the bat, I think the thing I want to talk about first is a few things I changed with the swing arm. You have these bigger, larger reinforced swing arm attachment points. If you've been paying attention in the paramotor community, you know the original Maverick had weaker connections and there were cases of people breaking those in extreme situations. This is a reinforced, beefed up swing arm, so it should be less of a problem. I will say this swing arm here, unless I'm just lying to myself, feels a little bit bigger. It could be the identical one. I know the Parajet Maverick manual is the same for adjusting this as this is the MavMax. Now, moving down, we have a reinforced attached piece at the end. If you know what a regular Maverick is, it's just that little swivel thing that comes down and will attach a picture. This is much beefier and reinforced. I will say this is something that I am a big fan of. Now, this Parajet MavMax is a titanium cage, hoop, and frame with CNC'd aluminum swing arms. It comes with the Dudek Power Seat Comfort harness, which I'm a big fan of. I find this harness to be easy to use, comfortable, and adjustable. There are no other harness options. This is the one that you get. It comes in either a small, medium, or a large, extra large. I opted for the large, extra large as a pilot at 180 pounds and 5'9". That's what I find to fit me. I can get away with a small, medium, but I find this large, extra large to be a little bit nicer. Now, the thing that's super cool about the Parajet MavMax and what makes it so special over the regular Parajet is that it runs a 140 propeller. This is only a 130 because a student was flying it, and that's usually what I put students on, but it runs a 140 propeller and has a larger 150 hoop to match that 140 propeller. If you know the standard Parajet Maverick spins a 125, most paramotors today's day and age are now running 140s, and Parajet MavMax is doing exactly that, and I'm excited about it. It's basically a Maverick with a larger hoop. This netting is still something I can't say I'm the biggest fan of. It's on the weaker side, strong tension, but weaker side. They did change a few things with this and added a little bit less distance here, I believe, giving you more ability to tension it down and get it tighter. I find I can get this MavMax netting tighter than I could get the original Parajet Maverick netting, as my Maverick actually has an additional attachment here to really tension in the netting to where I feel comfortable. I don't have to do this with that MavMax, which I am a fan of. They did change this. They added a reinforcement bar that comes from this side to this side to help strengthen the cage flex. I will say the Parajet MavMax has really impressive cage flex. Get a close-up of this, dude. It's actually really impressive. This up here, pretty impressive. I can touch those together, but I do have to try. This reinforcement bar is nice. I don't know if I'd say it's much stronger than a standard Maverick, but it is ever so slightly stronger than that standard Maverick. One thing that they did change that you'll notice with this arm here is there's a curve to it. It looks really, really nice. This little curve just adds that extra spunk to this Maverick that I'm a big fan of, or not a Maverick, MavMax. Now, it comes in the standard Parajet blue. For an additional $500, you can get a custom color. The swing arms and the hoop will come at that custom color. There's a variety of options. If you check out Parajet's website, you can see all of those options. I went for the standard blue. The one kicker with this is if you break the netting, this netting is attached to this hoop, you have to replace the entire hoop. Besides that, the other thing that they did change is the gas tank. The fuel tank is now a 16.5 liter upgraded tank or a standard 12 liter. I went with the upgraded 16.5 liter tank. It was an additional $100 because I like to fly longer distances. The fuel cap is in the same spot right here. I haven't had any stripping problems with this fuel cap like I have had with my regular Maverick. Mind you, I only have 4 hours on the paramotor, maybe 5 at this point, so not enough to really tell, but I haven't had many issues with that. They did make this gas tank a quick disconnect, so you can quickly remove the fuel tank. I personally think that's kind of silly. I'm not a big fan of it. It just adds complexity, weight, and more things to go wrong. If I could choose not to have that, I probably wouldn't have it. I think the reason behind it is they think people take these apart and put them in their car. You want to be able to remove the fuel tank if you're going to do so, or if you put it in your camper. It would be nice on an adventure wingman trip to remove that. If you're doing a long cross country, don't want to carry the whole paramotor to the gas station, you can just take the fuel tank. I've never taken it off, so I don't know how difficult / easy it is to remove. I can't imagine it's that difficult, but I do think you have to remove the bottom straps of the harness or the top strap of the harness and get that harness out of the way. They did change how this harness attaches. Instead of it just being this one rounded bar, there's these little dips down here that it attaches to. It's kind of cool. I would have maybe preferred this bar come straight across. This is a little bit high for carrying. It's almost just too high. Down here would be a better height, but right here it's already like in my arm lift, so I have to like really lift it. I prefer a grabbing point a little lower, which they do have here and here for just moving it around. It's one of those silly little things. The other thing that they did change and add with this MavMax is you can take this piece. Normally you attach right here on the standard Maverick. It actually comes up and there's a little fancy schmancy thing right here. While we're over here, let's talk about their secondary kill switch. I think this is also a little bit of a silly feature, and I probably would have opted not to have it. The one thing that did frustrate me that I had a situation with is it doesn't say which way is on and which way is off. I spent probably 2 minutes trying to start the motor before realizing I had it in the off position because there is no indicator for on or off. I would love if they could add an indicator for what is on and what is off. Now, when you change the throttle, that can change as well. I had a student who put a off-grid throttle on this, and now that way is on and that way is off. It just is kind of one of those silly things. Now, this is running a Vitarazi Moster 185 MY22. Big fan of the Vitarazi engines. They're kind of the industry standard for a reason. They're reliable, they're powerful, they do all the things you want. Parts are readily available, and you can basically get stuff shipped to you same day, next day. I love that engine. You can get them with a factory R, but it's quite a wait. It's like a 6 to 8 month wait for a factory R. I only recommend factory Rs if you can get them, meaning if you have one available or you can find one easily, then yeah, get it. Otherwise, I don't think it's worth the upgrade. But moving on from that, they also raised up the gas tank. So on the standard Maverick, the gas tank was at the ground. On this MavMax, if you peek underneath, the gas tank is actually sitting off of the ground, which is quite nice. Now, let me actually go get my Maverick, stick it side by side so you can see the difference in size. I have both, just so you know. At Backcountry PPG, we actually have 6 different paramotors, all different. I have a Maverick, MavMax, a PAP, a MacFly, a Limitless, and I'm sure I have something else. Oh, an Iris. That way you can come try everything. Here's our regular Maverick. Here's our MavMax. So we've got a good height difference between the two of these. I'd say this Maverick comes to right here. You've maybe got 6 inches or so more cage on this MavMax than you do on this Maverick. Now, I didn't weigh this MavMax when I got it brand new. I would say, and I've seen reports of it being around 58 pounds. Maverick standard comes in at 54 pounds. This is a regular Maverick right here. So this is heavier. You're getting extra cage size, you're getting extra things for that extra weight. Again, I'd probably opt to remove the few things that would save a little bit of weight if that was the case. Now, I've always loved these Mavericks. They're easy, they're simple, they're quickly adjustable to weights. You can just hop on the website, figure out what your weight is, and adjust the Maverick to you. Find them to be a very good school unit. Most of my students end up flying and buying Parajet Mavericks. I love them. This Maverick and this MavMax are both school units here at Backcountry PPG. All right, guys, that is a wrap on this video about the Parajet MavMax. A little bit of a comparison between the two and my first impressions of this beautiful MavMax. If you're interested in additional information about the Maverick or any equipment, we carry every major brand, make, and model at Backcountry PPG. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. Contact us at Backcountry PPG, info@backcountryppg, or 801-599-1684. We've been known to have extremely fast response time. My name is Trevor Steele. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.